We need to go. We need to get closer. Oh, they're top. My camera's not working.
Okay. Did you catch that? She said my camera's not working.
My camera's not working.
She is concerned. She's in an active shooter event, and she's pausing to figure out how to get her body camera to work. Welcome to Christian Warrior Training. My name is Keith. If you're new to the channel, which we have a lot of new people here now, I'm a 30-year police officer with 20 years on SWAT. I currently train police officers around the country full-time. That's my full-time job now. But my heart is with the church in training security teams how to perform at a peak level. For incidents like this, we're going to go through all the camera footage, all the CCTV footage, and the body cam footage from beginning to end. It's going to be a long video. I'm going to talk through the whole thing and kind of debrief the best I can. I want to do a disclaimer. My debrief is coming from watching video and news reports and talking to some officers that were there, but not the officers in the video, but officers that showed up after. There's a lot to unpack. I'm going to get really angry at some points because there's a lot of bad stuff, and we're going to break it all, the good, the bad, the ugly. So bear with me. I'm going to put chapter markers on this for each camera. So if you get bored with me, go to the next camera. I would not do that, though. I think there's a lot of valuable information in there. We're going to watch it. I may pause it, talk about things that I see. I'm going to get down to the nitty gritty. At one point, an officer has a problem with their body camera. We're going to talk about that problem and what it means for law enforcement as she fiddles with her body camera. We're going to talk about all this stuff. So bear with me. Let's start off with the parking lot. I'm going to show you what things that I look at that stick out in my mind. Now, first things first, this is the west entrance to this church. It is ginormous. 40,000 people over the weekend will come to worship. You'll notice that she's parked in a red lane and she's wearing a overcoat with a backpack. She does look very strange to me. It should alert you that somebody stopped in the fire lane, blocking traffic. And the manner that she's dressed, I would go contact her. Now, we just did a video training on how to contact suspicious vehicles in the parking lot. This would be exactly what we're talking about here. Go back and take that training. All of my training is free at courses.christianwarriortraining.com. There is no gimmick. It's my gift to you for fellow Christ followers to protect your church. So she parks there, and now she's, I think there was one interest she couldn't get into. So I just want to pause just for a minute. I want to point out this officer leaning against the wall, looking at his phone. Look, we all get disconnected. These guys that are working here, every department calls it something different. We refer to it in the San Francisco Bay Area as a pay job. This is where officers are hired off duty to come in. I think they're making about $50 an hour here to come work security at the church. There are a lot of them at this church. So all of them are fatigued because they've been working their regular shift. Now they're on overtime. As they transmit, I hear batteries that are dead because they didn't recharge their battery before they started a new shift. It's important to note to stay off your phone. Now, the suspect enters with her child and moves into the church. He has his head buried in the phone, so if she was looking suspicious, he wouldn't have noticed, but you would have seen a rifle under that trench coat. Could he have picked it up if he didn't have his face buried in his phone? I don't know. The officer does make some mistakes here that we're going to point out, and we'll talk later about what's going on with law enforcement, that we have these mistakes happening so often, it seems like. So the shooting's going to go ahead and kick off here in a second. So now we have the firing. The officer doesn't move to the gunfire. He seeks cover. You got to go to the sound of gunfire immediately. It's called dynamic intelligence. When you hear the gunfire going off, you charge immediately to where that gunfire is. It is uncomfortable to do that. Just to be clear, it is not natural for people to run towards the sound of gunfire, and we're going to see a lot of officers coming up that don't take action. There is one officer engaging them. It is a plainclothes officer. I believe he works for alcohol beverage control. He's actually doing the best out of all of them. With that said, it's easy to criticize these officers, but I can tell you when I do civilian active shooter training, it is the rare occasion that I see somebody go toward the gunfire after we've told them, hey, you're going to hear gunfire. You need to go towards it. What I see everybody doing, what I see them all doing on church security teams, concealed carriers, you name it, they all hide just like this. And if you're sitting behind this screen right now and you're saying, I'm not going to do that. Yes, you absolutely are, unless you train it out of you, because it's natural human behavior to hide, unless you've been under gunfire before and you've trained it out of yourself to move forward. We're going to talk about that, but the reason why we do active shooter training is something called stress inoculation. We're going to inoculate you to this stress so that when you hear the gunfire, you're just going to go forward and move forward and make contact with the enemy and stop them. For those of you sitting behind the computer with a lot of bravado about what you would or wouldn't do, if you haven't been there, you're probably not going to do it unless you train, not on a flat range, shooting at a flat target. I'm talking about going into your church, firing off blanks inside the church, and doing reality-based training to train yourself out of that. I'm not kidding. I do a lot of active shooter training in the civilian market. Everybody freezes just like these officers did. All right, let's go back to the video. I'll get off my soapbox. The officer goes around the corner, but he's going to stop. He's going to go into that little bay right there. You can see some puffs of near misses as the rounds come up. There's a female security officer comes to look around. She hears the gunshots. I don't think she's armed, to be honest. She heads over, but there's nothing she can do. The best thing she can do is realize the fire is coming from over there and to pull everybody back and push them out of the building somewhere else and get them out of that area, because those rounds, when they miss, are going through the wall. Okay, we might skip ahead here for a minute because this is a very long segment that really isn't going to show us much, except the officer is hiding there on the right. We're going to watch his body camera footage later. He's borderline condition black, which means he doesn't see anything. He does a lot of hiding. And there were lots of opportunities. We're going to see that there's some opportunities that now here comes the suspect. She's firing, coming around with the AR. This is his opportunity to come out from hiding and start blasting her. But it's a missed opportunity. So she starts screaming that she has a bomb. You've killed my son. She does take some chemicals. I think this is the point where she takes chemicals, but I'm not positive. And she starts spraying some chemicals around. But look, she doesn't have her rifle on her right now, or at least she didn't until she just picked it up right there. That was a good time to engage her and to stop her. Again, another great time to engage her right now, but you don't know because you're hunkered down. It is human instinct to hunker down. A majority of people, you see everybody is doing that in a church full of people. Okay, so the officer's firing at her. But you need to close the distance. You need to come in, close that distance, get closer, because every time you miss, that round is going through a wall. And that's going to hit somebody. That's every miss that you have is $1 million. It's $1 million bullet because you hit somebody, right? So here she is, unarmed again. Perfect opportunity for that officer to come around the corner and start blazing her. But it's a missed opportunity. What's good too, what we do at our church, we have somebody watching surveillance camera. And so right about now, for my team that's watching right now, you guarantee you're going to see us at the active shooter training this year. At this point, so now she's down. This is a good point where like somebody could be watching video surveillance and start telling them, hey, she doesn't have her gun with her. Move up, and start moving. So they're continuing to fire at her. They're getting some good hits. This is why you want to practice shooting on the move. You're moving plus the target moving. So that way you can practice a little bit more and be a little bit more accurate. Now, a lot of people, the one thing I want to talk about too while we watch this finishing is a lot of people, when it comes to weapon selection, they're picking tiny guns because it's easy to conceal. I can guarantee you everybody here wants the biggest gun that they could find. I'd much rather have a rifle, which we'll talk later about rifles need to be in churches with people that are trained to use those rifles. So they're afraid to make contact because she said she had a bomb. They're afraid she has a bomb. So there's a lot of back and forth at this point about what to do. We're going to see some body camera footage. It's going to be a little bit more telling. If she has a bomb, I just want to throw something out for thought. I am not telling you what to do, but I'm just throwing this out for thought. If she says she has a bomb, she came in shooting up the church, and now she says she has a bomb. Is it conceivable that she could have a dead man switch, something else along those lines? Or she could have a bomb that she could activate it and blow the church up? Sure. Would you be wrong for doing an incapacitating shot on her to stop it? You wouldn't be wrong. Just something to think about and to go through with your training. All right, here's the lobby, some pretty good footage. You can see the shooting's going to start fairly quick here, I think. Okay, so she's going to come around the corner. She's got her child in tow. I'm just going to pause for a minute. So this is the second time I've seen this. I'm kind of doing more of a reaction video for you guys right now, plus a debrief. This part makes me very sad. I have a hard time dealing with my time as a police officer and all the crimes that happen to children. This child is freaking out. And you can see at some point he's going to try and grab mom and hold on to her. And it makes me so sad to see this. And you're going to see some of the officers have a hard time passing this child after he's been shot in the head. With that said, what are you going to do when somebody comes into your church and uses a small child like that as a shield and starts firing at you? You have to fire back. If you don't, that person is going to kill a lot of people. This is why we go to the range. I shoot minimum 400 rounds a month. I wish I could afford to shoot more. I can't afford to shoot more. But you have got to shoot and be on top of your game. I was shooting at least 750 rounds a month when I was on SWAT, preparing for this particular incident right here. And I can tell you, I would not have hit the kid. I can tell you right now, I don't think I would right now either, because I kept my skills up. My question to you is, where is your skill set right now? How is your skill set? Are you going to be able to avoid hitting that kid? Here's the other thing. When you do range training, when you do active shooter scenarios at your church, throw this exact scenario in there and see how you do and start practicing for it. All right, we're going to go back to the video. See, she used the child as a shield momentarily for a minute there. And you're seeing I do see some signs of autism with this kid when I see him walking around, which is sad because she's just taking advantage of him. He's freaking out. He's hiding, holding his ears, trying to hide from the gunfire. And mom's just putting him right out there. What kind of savage does that? This is absolutely horrible. This breaks my heart. I'm dying inside watching this. I couldn't imagine what it's like for these people to have that. All right, so you got officer approaching on the left. You got the child right there, but you got somebody with an AR-15 claiming to have a bomb and engaging you. What do? It is really hard. You have to close the distance. Close the distance. Fire, maneuver, close the distance, and stop them. You got two more uniformed officers coming up from the rear. What I think is a good point to point out right here is you look at this. This is the ABC agent, alcohol beverage control. There is nothing there to tell me that he's a police officer. Certainly the officers that are there know that he works there, right? But now I am one of hundreds of cops responding. And I roll in here with my rifle. All I hear is there's somebody shooting. And I walk in and I see this guy shooting. How do I know he's a police officer? And I just want to point out here, I worked plainclothes a large portion of my career. I also teach plainclothes tactics to police officers currently. I'm telling you right now, you need to have something available to you to show that you're a good guy in your church. And I know you guys are all like, oh, we all know each other. That's fine. You all know each other, except for the 200 cops that are coming for your active shooter. They don't know you. And you're going to see some crossfire stuff happen in here. And you hear some terminology in here. It's important. I've written an article on this, on uniform versus plain clothes. It's good to have a mixture of both. But for the guys that are in plain clothes, you need to have something available for them. so that when bad stuff goes down, they can identify themselves as a police officer. All right, so this guy on the left, I don't ever see him with a gun in his hand. He is getting in the way. You have got to, if you're not armed, stay out of the way. Go hide or go get people out or treat people that are wounded. Stay out of the shooter's way. You're going to see at one point up here, he's going to get in front of the muzzle and just get in this guy's way as they move forward. So why is he walking behind him? What are you going to do, bro? Like, stay out of the way. There is nothing you're going to do. The other thing, I mean, you're going to get shot is what you're going to do. Now, mind you, the shooter took that path where he's at right now, too. He's in the way of he's in between the two shooters right now. Now, there are two uniformed officers behind this plainclothes officer. They need to move forward, and the three of them fire and maneuver going forward to destroy the enemy. This person is taking them on all by himself. And those two uniformed officers, which we're going to see their body camera in the back, they're doing a horrible job. And quite frankly, it's embarrassing. Now, he's doing a reload. How many of you carry extra magazines? How many extra magazines? I've met officers that have been in shootings and have gone through all of their magazines, all of them. And now they're being shot at with nothing in their hands. Just something to think about. He's trying to get his angle and take out the active shooter. He's doing a pretty good job by himself. There is nobody helping him, even though there are a lot of armed people around him that could help him. But there's no teamwork here. There's nobody communicating. And this is the problem. You have a bunch of people from different agencies. Now they finally move forward. They've been back there the whole time. I don't know why they haven't moved forward. We're going to watch their body camera. And you'll see it. There's some, when we get into the body camera, I got a lot to say in the body camera section. There is some bad stuff happening. All right, body camera time. This is the officer. This officer pretty much hides in one space the entire time. And I want you to listen to his voice. He is stressed. I believe he's in condition black. Let's listen. Okay, for a minute, he had an angle on her. He just needed to go forward. He just needed to go forward and start drilling her. But he wasted it by going back to seek cover. Why? Because his department has failed him by not training him through stress inoculation, by pushing him into uncomfortable positions to get over that fear to move forward. The same thing is going to happen to you. It's going to happen to you unless you do the same type of training, a stress inoculation, having somebody fire at you with blanks so you know what it's like to move forward and stop them. When he talks on the radio, he gives no coherent information. Lakewood Church. Okay. His battery's dying. That's a little chirp that you hear at the end. That's sounds like he's got a Motorola radio, same one I had for years. That chirping lets me know his battery's dying. So he showed up with a dead battery. The battery's about to die, and well, now you're screwed. You hear the dispatch come back on and say, unit not logged on. This is the problem with law enforcement right now. The dispatcher is getting info that there's some kind of bad thing going on, and she's saying, you're not logged on. Yeah, no kidding, he's not logged on. He's on a pay job. The guy probably should have logged on, and he didn't. But you have to roll with it for dispatch. You got to roll with it and just say, all right, Officer Moreno. I mean, it's a department of thousands of officers, okay? How many Morenos are there? Officer Moreno, go with your traffic. What do you have? And all he says is Lakewood Church. What do you have? The same thing is going to happen to you, okay? You guys have radios on your team, and you should say, I have an active shooter, door 1. I have an active shooter, west side, whatever street, and then start getting your people together to start assaulting that person. killed my son. Stand down, I have a bomb. Okay. If somebody tells you, I have a bomb, 100%, you go with that. You believe everything they just told you. And you're going to treat that person as if they have a bomb. So you're going to shoot them because they are going to blow the place up, and they are actively shooting you. When they go down and they're still rolling around, is it possible that they can activate that bomb? Absolutely. I'm letting you know you need to start. I'm not telling you what to do. I can't do that. But I can tell you need to start thinking about it. I can tell you what I'm going to do. You said you have a bomb and you came shooting up the church. Yes, I'm shooting you. When you're down and you're rolling around, you said you had a bomb and you've got a backpack and I think it's in there. I'm probably going to end it for you right then and there. So that way we can secure the scene, right? You made your choice here.
I got one female shooting rifle. I'm pinned down on against the wall. Come here. I would like to shoot on the west side, 3700.
This is the same guy that was on his phone when she walked in. They're not communicating with each other to move forward and stop her. They're all acting individually. Still letting you know there's a bomb in that bag.
Suspect saying she got a bomb.
He should. God, this is so frustrating. All right. She pauses. And she's having a conversation with that plainclothes cop you saw earlier. Her back is to him. He needs to come around that corner and blast her and be done with this. Overcome your fear. The only way you're going to overcome your fear is through training. I can train it out of you. I've trained it out of my team. My team, nobody pauses anymore. The first time we did this, almost everybody paused. Why? Because it's human nature and they had never experienced that in their lives before. Now we're on our 4th year doing active shooter training and hardly anybody pauses anymore, at least the people that come to training. And we will train this out of you. Okay. Armchair quarterbacks. If you've never been in a gunfight and you're like, I would have done this, man, you don't know what you're going to do because you haven't been there before. Just soak this in, realize what you need to do in your training to adjust things and start doing it starting this weekend.
Blue.
Okay, what blue means? What are you saying? Blue means police. You got to have some kind of term for like, I'm a friendly coming in. Blue is kind of what every cop always uses, which I wish they would stop using it because every criminal knows it now and they're just going to say it now because they all know what it means. But have some kind of a system to let people know what's up.
Blue. Hey, we need a medic immediately.
Don't back up. Go forward. The threat is forward. It's up there. Now you have 2 of you. Move down that hall as a team.
Hold on, watch out.
Taking her on.
Hey,
You got 3 of you. Come on, you got
Sit down. I need a medic.
You
I
got
have
fire team. Let's go.
one male conscious and breathing. He got shot in the head. I need medic.
He's finally putting out information. But it's not very coherent. He's causing more problems.
223 kill cases. I thought she had 12 cases.
Yeah, I just seen one. She just came in. You okay? Y'all been shot?
Yeah.
Hold on, she got a fucking bomb. That's the problem. I already called the EMS.
Okay, even if she has a bomb, right? She said she had a bomb. If she really had a bomb, it probably would have gone off by now. Most people that say they have a bomb don't really. You have a lot of people in that church. Go forth. It's dangerous. It's scary. Go forth. And plus, you're in God's house. God is obviously protecting all you guys because nobody got hit.
I need EMS ASAP.
You have a kid, tell them.
Yeah, I already did. What's the fucking address over here? Fuck. Timmins Lane. I need him at 3700 Timmins Lane side. Adrian, say back. Sergeant route. So everybody else has been shot? Hold on. Hold on.
You got gloves? Everybody got gloves? You got gloves?
I got gloves. I got gloves. What do you need?
Okay, take your weapon. Gloves on.
Don't worry about gloves and hitting your weapon. Just get the weapon away from her. Everybody knows she was holding it. We're going to get prints off it, DNA. Who cares? The other thing, I want you to stop and look at the other people at the end of the hallway down here. Why are they down there? I remember I was in an officer-involved shooting where it was my first SWAT call and we got in a shootout. And there were people, like a mom brought her kids out to come watch the cop shoot it out with somebody in the street. It's like, look, get out of the way. And they should be yelling down there, crossfire, get out of there. Because if you have to start shooting, it's going that direction and they're in the way. And that needs to be communicated. There's nobody communicating here. And that happens frequently when we do active shooter training. The other thing is they're so concerned about gloves and putting gloves on to pick up that weapon. Just don't worry about CSI or, crime scene stuff. It doesn't matter. She was shooting it up. You got to get that weapon away from her. Who cares? Your prints are going to be on it. So are hers. It's all good, man. This is so horrible to watch, to be honest.
Hold on. Man, where you shot it? No, that's the shooter. That's the shooter. Hold on. Watch out. Hold on. No, don't use your face.
Again, what's up with this guy right here with no gun? Why are you there? Get out of there. You have no business being there. And somebody needs to order that guy. Get the F out of here. You've got no business being here.
Tim inside. Suspect is down. I need EMS ASAP for one small child.
All right. Here's more pain to watch.
I think there was about 6 to 8 that they actually put as part-time employees. I don't know how they did it with their agency.
What are people running?
So initially, I felt pretty good about this. I'm like, yeah, she's running towards the gunfire. She's going to go in there and just clean house and take care of business. I was sorely mistaken. Again, if you hear gunfire, go towards the sound of gunfire. Start communicating on the radio. I got shots fired, people running, west side of the church. I hear active gunshots. Put out a help call. Okay? Continue to move forward as a team. Don't stop.
3639. Here at Lakewood Church, we need units now.
Okay. She did okay, not great. You know, you kind of you need units now, but why? What do you need a units for? Because I have an active shooter. See the difference? I need units now. Or I need units, I have an active shooter. Right? There's a big difference.
We are Lakewood Church. We need units. We need to go. We need to get closer. Oh, they're coming. My camera's not working.
Okay. Did you catch that? She said my camera's not working.
My camera's not working.
I am not faulting this officer for this particular portion. She is concerned. She's in an active shooter event, and she's pausing to figure out how to get her body camera to work. And I know a lot of civilians out there right now are like, God, what's wrong with her? No, what's wrong with the department and what's wrong with the public? We have demanded these officers have these body cameras, and they got to be on all the time. And they're trying to make it a crime in some states that if you don't turn your body camera on, you could be arrested. Seriously, some states are doing this. So what happens is instead of going forth into the gunfire and stopping this active shooter, you're going to pause to figure out why your body camera doesn't work. Seriously, law enforcement is so screwed up right now, partly because you people made it that way and law enforcement leadership. And this is for another time for another video, but I got to point that out, that she's stopping in an active shooter event to figure out why her body camera doesn't work. And that's because she is going to get in trouble because it doesn't work. That is where we're at in society right now. Okay? So they're going to try conceivably to go backdoor the shooter, but again, we need keys. This is why you need to pass keys out that open every door to everybody that's working security. I don't know why they're whispering. There's no reason to whisper. They should be getting on the radio, communicating with everybody else, and figure out how to move forth and destroy that person. The grip on her handgun. She doesn't have a proper grip on her handgun.
Let's approach. We need to approach. Come on.
She's trying to encourage her partner to come forward. He doesn't want to come forward.
Father God, just be with us. Forgive us our sins. Come on.
That prayer. Let's talk about that prayer. Prayer, especially now, it's important. Your prayer shouldn't be, forgive me for my sins, because that means that you think you're going to die and you need to start begging for forgiveness right now. You should have done that a long time ago. Your prayer should be, God, give me the strength to move forward and stop this person. God, work my hands, work my mind. Give me the courage to move forward as you're moving forward to shoot that person and stop them. Right? Prayer's good. Don't be a defeatist prayer. Be a prayer that you're going to go forth and destroy the enemy.
Come on. What the fuck?
She's up. She's up. She may have a bomb. You need to call SPD.
Well, I already got them called.
Hey, we need a medic. We need a medic immediately. Put the weapon down.
What's up?
Might be a bomb. Hey, who has that radio? You guys are ready?
Yes, we already got it.
We need a bomb squad.
We may need bomb squad.
We don't know yet. We have a kid that's down.
We need a medic. Hey, get a minute. Excuse me, free. Hey, is this what she is?
You okay? You got me shot?
We need a, should we approach?
Hold on, she's out of fucking bomb.
She might have a bomb.
That's the problem. I already called EMS.
Have EMS roll up here.
I need EMS ASAP.
You have a kid?
Yeah, I already did. What's the fucking address?
Yeah.
It's okay.
So when we do our training, we always put victims out there and we train people to go past the people that are down. That's for the medical team. Now, on our church, we do rescue task force, which means medical and security work together. So as we're forward right there, medical team should be grabbing that kid and pulling them around the corner and start working on them. When you do your active shooter training, do you put children down and put blood all over them and let people know they're dead? So that way they get used to that. That's what you do with your active shooter training. With your active shooter training, you need to put people that they know and love, children, all on the ground, and they have got to go past them. We do that to our officers. I do that to people at our active shooter training as well.
Where's my ambulance at? I have a child that's down. We need by 10 minutes. Circle drive.
Okay, now we're going to move up to Harris County Sheriff's Office.
Clear units, keep the channel health one.
He actually does a kind of a good job communicating. He doesn't really know what's going on. He kind of comes in a little bit late, I think.
Number 2, do you have the description?
No, ma'am.
So polite. So polite in this in a crisis like this. I love it. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I know some people are going to criticize that. I love it. It's like he's trying to orient himself. He probably just came up to this and doesn't know where everything is. He's working his way to the gunfire. It's exactly what you should do. And you want to pace yourself because you want to get there as quickly as you can. But you don't want to be so winded you can't take action. There's our 2 officers hiding.
You may have a bomb.
She need to close. She got to close it. 42 item 28. It's going to be a female. She's down right now.
We need a medic. We need a medic immediately.
We have a kid.
Okay, do you hear his radio traffic? We have a kid. We have a kid what? Kid wounded? Kid shooting? Kid is a hostage? What do we have? We don't know because you haven't told us. And so this is part of active shooter training, is that you're going to have to train yourself to fight through that fog and start putting out accurate information. For all your armchair quarterbacks that are sitting in mom's basement criticizing all this, I can tell you right now, every time we do training, everybody does this the first time on the civilian side. CCW holders, they seem to be the most braggadocious about, with the most bravado. And they're the ones that end up performing pretty poorly. But everybody does across the board. Officers, when I do officer training, depends on where I do it in the country, depending on where I'm at, but it's like 50-50 on how it's going to go. Okay. And the only way that you're going to succeed through this is training through it.
Number 2, repeat.
Shooter is down. Looks like she has something strapped on her chest.
We need a bomb squad.
So do you know if we have any more outstanding?
We don't know yet. We have a kid that's down. Possibly bullet to his head.
Hey, get him in. 2, 2, 3. Get okay.
There's anyone out there with you?
We have other officers out here.
Sir, we have EMS stage. Let me know when they can move up.
So EMS should already be working their way into the building. They can go into a cold spot in the building and start working their
Have
way
EMS
up.
roll up here at
Send 17 to over 28. Take a breath, conduct yourself, and let us know. Can we release the channel and have EMS move up?
Both good and bad from the sergeant there. I was a sergeant, okay? He's basically saying, take a breath, calm down, because he could hear he's stressed out. But let me know when we can release the channel and send EMS. Bro, you're a sergeant. Good job calming him down, but you ruined it at the end, man. Look, this is almost like it turned into like, hey, we got you. Like, hey, calm down, take a breath. He was doing it in a polite way that was good. Let us know. And instead of saying, let us know what resources you need and where we need to go, he turns into, let me know when I can release a channel and start sending in medical. Dude, knock it off. That's micromanaging. Come on, man.
Hey, Sergeant, we're good right now. She has something strapped on her. We're trying to figure it out.
All right, you see me get worked up there because I can see a lot of poor training. I can see a lot of how they're micromanaging cops now with the body camera thing, stuff like that, that are making them not perform optimally because we've made it that way for them. And to be honest, we need to go back to 1990s policing to really get our country back at this point. The way you're going to perform at a high level at your church is by training, doing active shooter training a minimum of once a year, and doing it professionally, like bringing in a professional and doing it right. Meaning you have moulage, meaning like fake wounds, actors, blanks, some type of like force on force that you can do, and doing it all securely so no real firearms get introduced. That's the only way you're going to overcome this. This is really difficult. The officers didn't perform the way I wanted them to. I can tell you right now, looking at how they perform, training 100%. Some of the things that we're going to talk about in the future is how to do active shooter training at your church. We're going to talk about rifles. Should you have a rifle in your church? Yes, you should, but you should have not just any rifle, a good rifle with people that are trained how to use it, because you're going against this woman with an AR-15 with a bunch of pistols. And I'm telling you right now, every active shooter scenario, not every one that we do, but I'll always throw one in where we have this huge pause. And there is time to go back and somebody to go get the rifle and come back. So we'll talk about rifle selection, training. I am looking at doing a rifle course for church security teams in the future. I don't know when that's going to be, but we're looking at doing that. That's all I got for now. I hope you learned something from the video. Just remember your ABCs. Always be caring.